everyone, it's Diane. Welcome back. I know I'm a little later today with my video, actually a day late, but I didn't forget you. I just was recouping from the weekend, I guess, and trying to get things put away. We had our class 65th birthday party over the weekend, and so I had lots of mason jars and little lights and things that all needed unpacked and wrapped up and put away and things like that. Sorry, I'm trying to get I have my color charts here that I use so that I can coordinate color, and I had taken them out of this plastic sleeve because I thought my son needed the sleeve and then he didn't. And I also have some swatches of some of my alcohol markers in browns that I do on paper once in a while when I'm trying to figure out a color. Anyways, I'm going to get them put back in there so I have it handy. How are ya? Hope you're doing good. Yep, yesterday was Columbus Day here, and so I'd forgotten my sister and I had discussed going to the apple orchard yesterday. And they have a little shop, you know, with lots of yummy foods and stuff, of course, that we don't need. But jams and jellies, things like that, all homemade there. So we did that yesterday, and then, of course, that put me behind for the whole day. So here I am today. I hope you're still going to enjoy it. So last video, I had asked what you might prefer. Do you like quick cards with fun folds, or do you prefer having some stamped images and playing with our inks and stuff like that? And actually, Beth, one of my subscribers, said that she did actually miss when we were using our old stamp sets when I was doing my Stamping A to Z project. Thank you. Thank you so much for answering and giving me some guidance here, some insight. I don't want to just, I mean, I can make cards all day long, but if it's not interesting to anybody, then there's no point in me making a video. So I appreciate that. So I went back to my videos and I found that I had left off at the end of my alphabet. And what that project is, I had started trying to use all of the stamp sets that I have accumulated over the years as either a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator or just out and about when I was getting stamp sets that I liked. And I started at the beginning of my alphabet and the end of my alphabet, and I was working towards the middle. So I had left off when hubby got sick, and I had to take my little sabbatical, or whatever you want to call it, with under my umbrella. That's where we were headed next. So I did grab that. Actually, it was still laying out. So we're going to play with that today. Now, under my umbrella, I know, I could have sworn I had the punch. There was a punch that punched out the umbrella open, the closed umbrella, and the little handle. I can't find it. Maybe I didn't have it, but I really thought I did. Because if I remember correctly, there was also designer series paper that coordinated with this, that you could use the punch on the paper. I know I have the tulip. I found the tulip punch, but I can't find my umbrella punch. So that's okay. We're going to play without it. This looks like a spring stamp set. It would be gorgeous, and I know I've used this to do baby cards and stuff with it because it's great for a baby shower. But here in northwestern Pennsylvania, before the snow flies, we always get cold, rainy weather. I don't know if that's what it's like where you live, but I thought maybe we could do an autumn card with our umbrella and maybe make like I have an idea in my head. Lord only knows how it's going to come out. You know, it never comes out the way you think it is. I thought maybe we could make kind of like a cloudy, dark background with our umbrella and some leaves. Maybe, you know, I have some little raindrop adhesive clear thingies that we can put on here too. But make it look more autumnal than spring. So I had some punches. I did find when I was looking, I had some punches of leaves. Now I think, if I remember right, there was this set from Stampin' Up, and I think you could have got all three of them in the set. I didn't use the acorn because I want to make it kind of a rainy day, and you know, if it's got acorns flying down in the rain, someone's head's going to get hurt. So I didn't use the acorn. And then I did have, who's this one by? This is Tim Holtz punch, another little leaf. There's that leaf. Okay, so I found some little leaf punches. If you don't have punches, you know, maybe you have some leaves already cut out from dies and stuff from previous projects that you could use them, or just stamp them directly on your card rather than making them something that needs adhered to your card. I wanted to make it a little more dimensional is why I was doing this. So I always keep my extra little scraps of watercolor papers and stuff when I'm playing with watercolors. Again, if you don't have this, maybe you have some old scrapbook paper, or just take some crayon and scribble it on some paper in different colors. You can use a tissue and rub crayon together and smear it together and then punch out some pretty colorful leaves. And I'm sure I have die cut ones too, but I thought since I found the punches, I would use them. So I just took some of the watercolor scrappy things that I had and I punched out a few different colors of leaves. Get these out of the way. I also found, where did I put, oh, because I have leftover pieces from when we have workshops or whatever. I also have some little scraps of background papers here. And I thought when we get to that point, like some of them, this one's directional, so that won't work. Pretty springy on the other side. Excuse me. I did think when I got to the point where we're ready to put this on our card base that I might have something I would want to use as a mat. That's too small. These ones might not match in color. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. So like I said, I have an idea in my head. We'll see how it goes. I started with some Sahara Sand cardstock. This is half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of card. Oh, I guess we're going to have a top folding card. Sorry, didn't realize that. Or a side folding landscape card. I'm going to go this way. And then I did cut another piece of cardstock, the same color. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And if I have to trim this down to 3 3/4 by 5, so that if I find a matte sheet that I like behind it and I want it to stand out more, we can do that. I thought if I use Sahara Sand ink and maybe color blend in the center of this a little bit, it might make it look more like a dark autumny day. I considered using grays, but I went with Sahara Sand because of the leaves. I wanted to be able to use some brown in my leaves, and I didn't know if that would look as nice on a gray background. So let's just start. What it turns out to be, it turns out to be, right? Grab a piece of scrappy paper, which I should have some because I was cleaning things out. Some Sahara Sand ink, and I had a blending brush. There it is, laying around. And I'm just going to add some lightly to the center of my card. Moving maybe a little bit upwards and not so much towards the bottom of the card. At least until I get my umbrella done. Oh, there goes my little color band from my brush. And if you hear Ella out there meowing, she was in here for a little while. And I knew as soon as I turned the camera on that she would make her presence known. And she did. She jumped right up in front of the camera. So she had to be removed from the premises. I worked at bringing all of my, you know, I'm saying that I used this and it doesn't, oh yeah, it did. I was going to say, it doesn't even look like it was used, but it was. All right. I knew I had. I knew I did a baby shower card with it. I worked at bringing my house plants all in. Since the temperature's changing, I thought they might appreciate coming in here where it's a little warmer. So I also did that here over the last couple days. Now, I want to stamp. I think I want to stamp in brown. So I brought out Early Espresso Crumb Cake. I have a scrap of this Sahara Sand here. Is that Sahara Sand? I don't think it is. I think that's Crumb Cake. I wanted to see how it was going to stamp on there. Let's see what the colors are going to look like. I can always cut these out if I need umbrellas at some point. This is Crumb Cake. That's kind of pretty. All right. Yeah, so I was bringing my plants in, and the only place that I really have a window, a south-facing window for them, is up here in my craft room. And Ella loves to pull the plants out of the pots. So I knew today was going to be a trial period with her, because if she was going to go straight for my plants, she was going to get booted anyway. Okay, this is Early Espresso. That might be a little too dark, I think, because I'm going to use some colored pencils today on these. This is Sahara Sand, which is the same color as the paper. Oh, that was silly. Cleaned it off and put it right back in the ink. And I also have this is VersaFine. Oh, what's that back there? Vintage Photo. This is Vintage Photo Distress Ink. Let's see. Which needs re-inked, obviously, so that one takes that out of the equation. Yay. One less to consider. And this is VersaFine Clair Pinecone. And if I remember, this is, as I knock it upside down, sort of a reddish brown. It does have some reddish to it. I think I want a bold background or a blendy indie background. I think I'm going to make my umbrella an autumnal color, either maybe a Merry Merlot, a Merlot color here, or Cajun Craze. So maybe I should just stamp it in the color I want to use. See all of these tough decisions where my colored pencils go. We're going to use that trick where we use white colored pencil and then color in the umbrella. So what I mean by that is I'm going to use some white and I think we did this on a card not too long ago. This is crimson. And so when we color over this, our white area makes more of a highlight. It just helps us to blend it in. That might be pretty with the Merry Merlot, in which case I think I want to use the Pinecone. Okay, there we are. That's what we're going to do. So here's the part that we blended on. I know I have to be careful with this Pinecone because these inks do tend to take a second or so to dry. They're not real quick drying. So let's put this way because we're going to have our autumn leaves falling down. Okay. Get the umbrella handle. You can sit over there, Mary Merlot. You were a close second. And I'm surprised because Cajun Craze is one of my favorite autumnal colors. I do use it quite a bit. Right. There are little raindrops in this stamp set as well. Get our umbrella handle. I kind of want to make it, oh, let me get up here so I can look right over top. I would like to have it coming down from the point of the umbrella. Not bad. I'm good with that one. If I would have missed the tip of the umbrella there, I could just use one of my markers and fill that in a little bit. And I also think I'm going to use my greeting from this stamp set. Rain or shine, you're always on my mind. Rain or shine. Well, but I don't want to say rain. Yeah, because we are going to put some raindrops. Okay. I was going to say, because we're using leaves. A little scrappy paper go. Let's make sure. Ooh, nice. Okay, and I think I'm done with that ink for the moment. Now that I've taken out 6 more ink pads here, I just got everything put away from our stamp class last week. So this is just another way of using one of your stamp sets out of what you would have normally expected to use it for, right? Like I said, it looks like it's a springtime set, but we're going to make it more for fall. Yeah, so the ladies were here last week, and we did 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Ooh, I gotta make sure that I forgot. Remember, ink isn't dry on this one. We used a 12 by 12 sheet of paper and stamped some floral images on it. Which I think everybody was pretty happy with. And then they cut it up and we made it into different cards. And then they just took the rest of the flowers home because obviously it made way more cards than we were going to have time for in one morning. Okay, so that's going to give us some highlight on our umbrella. I should have pulled those raindrops out before I got started on this too. I didn't really want to have to make you wait while I went looking for anything, but sorry, forgot that. And we will try to blend this a little bit. You can use, I forget what those things are called, those little stubby thingies that come with colored pencils. What are those things called? I forget. I think, and I have some. I also have little blending pens here, which is what I think I'm just going to use. Anybody started on their Christmas cards yet? I know a lot of people have. I have not. I will say another one of the things though over the weekend I had to run down to the I told you I think that I was going to take my cards from the one little shop downtown and take them out. I think the shop has gone a different direction, turning more into a bookstore and kind of a mystical, magical type place, and that's not really my style. So I'm not going to change the style of the cards that I make to fit in there. So anyways, the Christmas market's coming up, and I think I would do better there with my inventory. So, not that there's anything wrong with whatever everybody's using, because I think they're wonderful, but that's not what I like to make. Yeah, so I have these little coloring sticks, and I think I got these at probably just our craft store, probably at Pack-A-Tans when it was still here. I don't know. And then I'm just going to blend this a little bit if I can. So I got all those home and had to reorganize them a little bit, put them back in the, their perspective categories, and have them ready. I don't know if you can tell the difference where I have blended the colors, and it just sort of takes the pencil lines out a little bit. You can also do this if you have, this might be an eraser, no, that's a good one. One of those erasers you hate because it always smears your stuff all over. I like this one, I think. But you got to get the dark color off of it. You can also use one of those old erasers. I'm almost scared to do it because this is actually working good. And it kind of smooths your colored pencils out a little bit and takes away your sketch lines. You can use a piece of kitchen roll, paper towel, fold it up, and make a little point out of it. And it blends it. You can use, like I said, those little stumpy things that you get with colored pencils quite often. I think that's what mine's from. I think it's in the colored pencil set. Oh, I was afraid it would smear my ink up there. I like the look of colored pencil. I like especially using the white when I'm using a brown or craft colored cardstock underneath. I don't know why, to me that's really pretty. Let red go. So if you were a colorer as a child, this might be something that you really enjoy doing. I think we'll add a little bit of brown down here to Actually, I think my old eraser from my pencil was doing a better job. I like that. Yep, I like that. Okay, nice. Nice and smooth. Very pretty. I should put a piece of tape or something around this pencil because I know when I go to use it as a real eraser, I always get mad because it smears. So, here we go. Now, let's add some little leaves. And some raindrops. I will grab those. Yeah, we need some with a little bit of a pink or red in there, since I did the umbrella with the red in it. What kind of a leaf am I missing here? I did 3 different ones. The maple ones. Alright, I like those ones. Let's get these things cleaned up. Out of the way so we can start laying our card out. Oh, where are those little raindrops? Probably should have just pulled my whole tray over here. It would have been easier. Up. Throw them on the floor. Yep. Hold on. Let's just pull my whole tray out. Oh. And look for raindrops. Oh, wait. No, those are... Here they are. You know, I was looking, actually, here's a little plug for Stampin' Up. Right now it's free shipping. I think yesterday, today, and tomorrow is free shipping. Because I did have a little bit of a shopping list over here. Things that I was running out of. Okay, so should we put a mat behind it? We can always trim this down a little bit. And there was that one, this one. I think I will. I think I will, she says. Yep. So I did see, anyways, like I was saying, there was free shipping. So I need 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to take a little off at the bottom, I think. And a little off each side because I had that pretty well centered. And then we can put that onto 4 1/8. 4 1/8. This was out of by 5 3/8. One of the 6 by 6 packages of pattern paper. I don't really remember what it was from. It was either from an autumn set or from like their in color papers. I'm not sure. So So if we put that on here, this on here, and have our autumn leaves and some raindrops. I like it. So now that there's some free shipping, I thought this would be a great time for me to get that shopping list, because I need some pink paper. I gotta find the list. It's over here somewhere. I think it was Blushing Bride I was always out of. I've reached for that several times. There was something else I had on there that was kind of a color I use a lot of. So see, this one's not even a hard card. This is, and I do like the little darker background around the umbrella. I don't know if you can see it well in the I think we need another brown, huh? A bit brown here. And I was going to say, where did those silly raindrops go again? Just add some little dabs of glue, hopefully not too much. My hands are really shaky today. What is that? Oh, it's too big of a blob. Not that much. You'd think that I'd have more to talk about since I was so busy, huh? It was wonderful seeing all those classmates from school. Put the brown one over here. Make that one facing up a little bit so that my leaves look like they're swirling a little bit. Yeah, I actually saw, I got to chat with one of the boys that I went to grade school with, and most of the kids from our graduating class were from the bigger elementary schools. So finding kids who went to my elementary school is always kind of exciting for me, you know, because it was a smaller elementary school, so a lot of us started out in kindergarten together and went through all of the grades together. So it's fun to find somebody else from a little school. Oh, these are on there rough. Goodness. And as I said, if you don't have something like these raindrops, there are raindrops, a stamp in this set. Those would actually be kind of fun to maybe emboss, heat emboss in silver. That'd be pretty. these are on there tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aww. That came out better than I expected. And it came out pretty much like what I had in mind. So there we are, using one of our old sets again under my umbrella and changing it up a little bit from a springtime flower set into more of an autumny card. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Pull out some of your old stamp sets and make a card. Make sure you send it to somebody, or you're going to end up like me. You're going to have all these cards sitting here, and you don't need them all. Send them. Make somebody smile. Until next week, I will see you all then. Thank you for being with me. Bye.